Hello, friends. Astroval here, bringing you the full moon in Cancer cosmic report from a healing and empowering perspective, along with horoscopes for each sign. Now, if this information resonates, please like this video and subscribe to this channel so that we can stay in touch. Now, the full moon is offering us a beautiful moment to pause and check in with our emotional motives. Like what is it that fulfills us emotionally so that we can head our put ourselves in the direction of what we want to accomplish. And it's asking us, are our goals nourishing us emotionally, or are we completely disregarding our emotional body, our self-care to fulfill those goals? So this is a moment of balance. That's what full moons do. Full moons help us see if we're too much on this end or too much on that end. And it creates this emotional realization where we can see, okay, let me take care of this part, or I've completely forgotten about this other part. So we're talking about Cancer Capricorn energy. So the month of Capricorn, that's where the sun is right now, and it is putting our focus in what are our motivations, what is it that we want to accomplish, what are our goals, right? Like beginning of the year manifestations, or what is it called, the new year resolutions, right? That's what the month of Capricorn does. And so the month of Cancer kind of just reminds us of what really matters. It Cancer gets us into the most tender areas of our lives to remind us what's our big why, right? So that our goals have that emotional alignment of what's really truly important in our life, so that we can start these things, these resolutions or these manifestations from an engagement that's really going to help us see this until the end, so that we're not just starting a bunch of things just to start something and not really have an emotional connection, that then we just kind of like forget about it, or we don't see it fulfilled, right? So this is the energy of cardinal signs that are very good at starting things. And so when we have a why, it really helps us stick to these manifestations. And Cancer energy teaches us that the fulfillment that we're seeking out in the world is really something that comes from our inner realm. So that the external tangible results could be disappointing, right? If we're just like hoping to feel better once we accomplish this, or once we have that, or once we've accumulated so much, and then once we get there, it's like, well, okay, you know what? I want more. Or then we have, there's like this like never ending wheel of can also be greed. Like, I want more, I want more, I want more, because nothing ever feels fulfilling enough, because it is like happiness is homemade. It's something that we have to, like, before we even initiate these goals, we are being asked to make ourselves happy right now, to like start those goals from a point, from a place, from a starting place that already feels like, okay, like this isn't going to add or take away. I'm already fulfilled where I am. And this is just kind of like, I'm going to just have an experience, not putting any expectations on once I have this, I'm going to feel this way. No, let's feel that already right now, right? Now, the full moon in Cancer connects us with our past. It is the energy that connects us with our lineage, with our family, with our home, with our private life. And it takes us to seek for the feeling of comfort and connect with people that feel like home. So these days, we're really going to want to kind of be more private. We're really going to be seeking to connect with people that feel like family, that really feel like you can just be yourself with it. You can just let loose, take off your shoes and wear your furry slippers and just like chill, right? So because we need to slow down, you need to just have that emotional connection, and in order for us to have that, we really need to just kind of go inward and have a moment, either alone or with people that you really love, to remind you what really matters. Now, some of us could be doing some healing work. Cancer is an energy that does that's very healing, and especially when it stems from the family or childhood. Okay, especially since we just, maybe some of you guys spent a lot of time with family over the holidays, and that could have touched some tender spots that then reminds you, like, oh my goodness, like, there's this trigger here, there's this trigger there. And especially because this full moon has a square to Chiron and Aries, it really puts the responsibility on yourself and like each individual to heal the trigger. So this energy between Cancer and Chiron and Aries can really be taking us to the past to heal whatever stories, like whatever happened in the past, by changing your perspective of what happened and coming from a more empowered place, right? So like an example that I've seen with this, it's like somebody that left their country, like their homeland, and it was because they really had to, they were in a really bad place there. And now kind of coming back and seeing that as like one of the best things that happened to them, versus, oh, poor me, I was persecuted or whatever it could have been, but like really seeing the gold in that situation, or somebody that was broken up with, and that having been like the most excruciating pain, and now really being able to see it as like, thank goodness for all the healing that led me to. So this is a really empowering moment where we're able to kind of go back um and change those stories, especially because the moon and Cancer are connected to our subconscious and our a way of reacting to life. And so when we have these subconscious patterns, like, oh no, I had to leave my home, or oh no, relationships aren't safe because of the experiences you've had in the past, those things tend to sabotage you. So if your New Year's resolution or what you're trying to manifest is a new relationship, or for you to feel at home, right? But you have these two stories of like, I had to leave my home, I was persecuted, or like that was the most horrendous time of my life when I had this breakup, then that is your subconscious response to life, and you may be sabotaging yourself from really manifesting these things. So this is a really important moment in time where we're able to do that inner work. So definitely take time for yourself these next few days to notice what's emerging for you internally, because this full moon is definitely going to let us know what are those tender areas, what insecurities are coming up, for us to really hug them, for us to really love them and heal them. And also the moon in Cancer shows us how our boundaries are doing. Capricorn and Cancer really have the energy of Cancer is represented by a crab. And crabs are very soft and tender on the inside, but then externally they are very hard and they have this shell, right? And so it's important for these crabs to have that shell, which are representative of the boundaries, because they're so fragile and so tender that if they didn't have um, these boundaries, these shells, then they would be crushed, right? So it's an important moment for us to check in to see how our shells are doing. Are they protecting us? Are they overprotecting us? Are we not really allowing ourselves and our emotionally tender spots to be featured in our life, so that we can really connect with people and like connect deeper and have more emotional fulfillment? Because that's how we really truly have that fulfillment, is when we're able to let that tender connection and like really share with others that emotional part within ourselves. And also, if you are too emotional or too open, if you need to really retrieve, go inward, and really use that shell to protect you or to create very stronger boundaries. Now, we can also be experiencing new feelings and sensations, because every time that we heal, we can experience, like, have new emotions, or just because you're like Cancer, this energy of water really helps us go into just to feel. So if we allow ourselves to feel, these new feelings and sensations can really open us to create new realities. I actually just experienced that for the first time. No, but I experienced that um, eh, just a few days ago where I literally was in such a vulnerable state and with my partner, and it was so beautiful. And I got to experience, like, I had a feeling that I had never had before. Like, I really was able to um, get past my boundaries and expand into a new sensation. And I could really feel that that new sensation that I was exploring within myself was really allowing me to like create a different reality, because that's how realities are created. Everything stems from your emotions. And so whatever emotion you're having is the reality that you're creating. Also, because the sun is trining Uranus, the sun is in Capricorn, Uranus is in Taurus. These two planets are in Earth signs, and they're really supporting each other. So we could be noticing these very unexpected opportunities from friends or social networks, and just opportunities to really free yourself from responsibilities, or maybe you are acquiring new responsibilities that lead to more freedom. And there's also this higher capacity to express yourself authentically and really feel seen and recognized for your uniqueness and brilliance. That's the energy of Uranus. Uranus is this inner genius, and it wants you to come out. And the sun is like, here I am. I'm here for it. I'm going to present myself and really let my freak flag show, and I'm going to put myself out there. And so pay attention for invitations that you may be getting from friends or just people out there that are noticing you and are like, wow, that really resonate with you. So just don't be shy right now. This is a moment for you to put your talents out there, and also for you to innovate, for you to create your own path and trust your natural instincts and inclinations so that you can pave your own road. And while you're doing that, maybe you invite others to come and join you on your path. Uranus is an energy of community and connections and social networking. So this is a really great time for you to like kind of like pick people up on your way to another road and build those connections. What else can I tell you? The Sun Uranus can also be a source of anxiety. Uranus can tend to create a lot of electricity in the body and in the nervous system. So this can just kind of like spark this like feeling of like je ne sais quoi, like I gotta move, I gotta do. Like lots of thinking, lots of like movement emotionally happening for us, especially because it's also connecting to the moon. So we can be feeling like this like need for newness, this need, like the moon and Cancer, it's like our emotional need. And Uranus, it's like, I want to change, I want something new, I'm ready to innovate. So it's a very electrifying, exciting, and awakening energy filled with like aha moments, and also lots of intuitive downloads of what you need to do to bring yourself to that safety, to that security, to that emotional stability. What do you need to do to provide yourself that soothing comfort that we need right now in order for us to have these very strong roots, um, emotional stability, so that we can grow like a tree, very healthy and very strong, and on our way to our path to fulfill our resolutions or what we want to manifest. This energy can also bring us to have conversations that help us to move or get unstuck. It's really, and it's also just an energy of being fully seen and accepted with this Uranus sun energy. We also have Venus just entered Aquarius, and Aquarius is the sign that is ruled by Uranus. And so Venus is really looking to connect with similar mindsets and people that have like similar visions for the future. Venus is in a trine with Mars and in a sextile with Jupiter, which is making it accessible to find what we are looking for, especially connecting with other people. So this can look like we're gravitating towards those that you vibe with and helping each other grow. So this is truly where this your vibe attracts your tribe moment comes in, right? Like so true. um and I talked about the Chiron energy already. There's a this is I'm gonna give you guys your horoscopes in a moment. And this energy of Chiron is the energy where you're really where there's like an emotional trigger I mentioned. Um, and there's this beautiful quote that I read the other day that I thought that was so fitting for this. And it says, "You're not to blame for what has happened to you in your past, but you are responsible for healing yourself and creating a new future." So I really want you guys to just kind of like remind yourselves of that over the next few days as this energy of the full moon comes in stronger and stronger. So let's talk about your horoscopes. Let's start with Aries. Aries, this is happening for you in your fourth house, which is about your home, your family, your emotional belonging. So you're really looking to bring yourself home, to soothe yourself, to do some self-care. The sun in Capricorn is reminding you, what are your motivations? What do you want to do? How do you want to be seen out there? What do you want to do for work? Uranus is in Taurus, really reviving you and helping you reinvent yourself and re-innovate the way that you work, how you create your resources. And so this is a really great time for you to reinvent yourself. And the part that where your trigger is coming in from, which is Chiron and Aries, it's you. It's your ability to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, to put yourself out there, right? And the medicine is in your relationships, and really having relationships that feel like are balancing, like that there's an equal giving and receiving. Now for Taurus, even though change is not an easy thing for you, there is an energy of comfort in the changes that are happening for you. So this full moon is happening for you in your third house, which has to do with your mindset, with how you communicate yourself, with how you think about life and how you express yourself. And this is also this month for you. It's about growth. It's about taking yourself outside of your comfort zone. Capricorn is in your zone of mind expansion, of travel, of having a certification, of taking like courses and really expanding your studies. So this is a great time for you to really follow through in all of your curiosities and the things that are calling your name. Now, Uranus is in Taurus. This is you. You are the agent of change. There's so much of you that is changing that that's what it's inspire you to think differently, to see things differently. And Chiron in the 12th house, this is your soft spot. This is the trigger point for you. This full moon is in really learning to spend time alone and really learning to let go and knowing that it's okay to close out chapters and let go. For Gemini, you're really getting to see how resourceful you are when it comes to working and making money. This full moon is happening for you in the sector of your finances, your work, how you support yourself, and Capricorn, which is the month that we're in, is in the area that deals with your vulnerabilities, with your fears, with working with other people's money, with really just facing yourself and being raw and honest with yourself and with others, and not and like and just really facing your shadows. Uranus is in the 12th house, and so you're receiving just all these beautiful inspirations and ideas are coming through, but it really does take you to have that spiritual practice to connect with like your in solitude with yourself so that you can have these downloads of, okay, this is what I'm going to do next. Your trigger or your soft spot is in, are they going to like me? Like it's in the area of your friends, of your community, of your future plans, of I don't know what I'm doing next. I don't know what this is going to look like. So don't let that be a source of anxiety for you. Just really make sure that you're doing what you love. Make sure that you're sticking to your heart's calling and you're spending time with people that inspire you, that really feel like that you can play with, that that inner child is happy, Gemini, for you. Okay, and just trusting that the universe always has your back, and it's blessing you with inspiration and ideas to start up again and again. For Cancer, this is happening for you. This is you. This full moon is in your sign, right? So you have such a generous heart, Cancer. You give your love to others with grace, and this full moon is showing you who is reciprocating. So it reminds you that the relationships are about giving and receiving, because Capricorn is in your seventh house, which is relationships, and which is, it's like really about bringing this balance, which means that you have to give to yourself, right? You have to allow yourself to be gifted, to be given to, and then to give. So there's really just like this reciprocating, this giving and receiving that is really coming to the forefront of your life. And taking care of your emotional health is what assures your success. The trigger point for you is in Chiron, and Aries is in your 10th house. So this is, what am I doing with my life, right? Like, where's my north? What am I doing for work? What do I want to be known for? My career? How do I put myself out there? My reputation? Those could all be things that are kind of coming up for you. And your reminder is that is to take care of your emotional health, right? Like, when you feel emotionally stable, everything else flows. Uranus is in your 11th house of friends, of community. So you can really be receiving help, or you can really be receiving like um, just connections, your social connections, or ideas and information coming in through that area of your life that really feels like it's an upgrade, and it's helping you to reinvent yourself. For Leo, my Leo, sometimes I gotta go like this when I talk about Leo. So, um, Leo, sometimes you need to take it easy and have time for yourself, right? So this full moon is happening in Cancer, which is the sign behind you, and which means that it's a moment for you to reconnect with your spirit and have time for yourself. And because that's really where you gain your source of light, that you know how to shine so bright and beautifully. But you need to have that emotional connection so that you can remind yourself like what's really important and what really fulfills your heart, so that you can share that love with us. Now, it is your life goals that are changing. That's Uranus and Taurus, and your career, like where you're heading towards in the future. And it's really an upgrade that you're receiving. It's really great upgrades and changes that are happening in that area of your life. But it does require you to have faith. That's where Chiron and Aries is right now. It's really digging you. It's really pushing you to connect with some sort of like spiritual practice, with some philosophy, to pray or have some sort of spiritual practice that helps you have a peace of mind. And you can just like pray for beautiful scenarios that you'd like to experience, as if you're designing your life. Okay. Now, for my friends Virgos here, this full moon is happening in your zone of friends, of social connections, of your plans for the future. So it's really reminding you, with this energy of Cancer, to surround yourself with people that feel like home, with the ones that you can be 100% yourself with, especially as you're going through all these changes about your philosophy, how you see life, because Uranus is in Taurus, really showing you and expanding your way of thinking. So you want to be able to have people that you can connect with in that way of like having more optimism and more just different perspectives in your life. Now, you've got to be open for these friends and these people to show you ways in which you can improve, just as much as you help other people see their ways too, right? So you just got to be open and seeing that. And just this woman is really showing you the value that those people are, and what they represent for you in your life. The trigger for you is a Chiron in the eighth house, which deals with your like facing your triggers, facing your fears, facing like being vulnerable, and just having people that feel like home are really important because they're the ones that are going to help you really see yourself and learn to love yourself, regardless of whatever fears or shadows you have. It's just like it's part of the process. And something that I had with a client this week was this scorpionic energy that is the eighth house of like these fears or like these really deep emotional topics. uh a lot of it is because we're so afraid to go there, that that yucky or like that desperate feeling of being there in that energy tends to be elongated for, or like it tends to feel like a little like hell, because we're avoiding it. So the more that we let our inhibitions down, and we just like let ourselves feel and learn to love those things that we don't like about ourselves, because Virgo, you tend to be so critical about all these things, that this is really the opportunity for you to just completely go into self-acceptance and love it. And the quicker that you do that, the less painful this will be. For Libra, this is your relationships are, for you, are the motor that keeps you going. And this full moon is showing you how to move forward with your life and with your life goals and career by having greater vulnerability and intimacy. Um, which also means you gotta face your fears and transforming them. So this full moon for you is happening in your 10th house of your career. This is like what like, where am I going, right? What do I want to do in my life? You're really getting to see that emotional connection with what's next. And it is the energy of Uranus and Taurus in your eighth house that's really helping you move through the fears of what's next and face that transformation very gracefully. Now, the energy of Capricorn for you is in the fourth house right now, which deals with your family, with where do you want to live, with your connection with home, with your homeland. And so it's just really reminding you of what matters that way. And the trigger or the emotional wound is coming from your relationships, right? Like they're really reminding you about the importance for you to take care of yourself, for you to spend just as much time with yourself as you do with others, so that you can come back to your center and be that charming, loving creature that you are with others. But it really does take time for you to spend with yourself. For Scorpio, this energy for you is happening in your ninth house. So you're really stepping outside of your comfort zone and exploring new territories. And it's thanks to your relationships. You have Uranus in Taurus in your seventh house. So it's your relationships or associations that are really helping you grow and step into new mysteries and solve new mysteries, right? That Scorpio loves to solve. But it's your associations and your partnerships that really are giving you a different perspective that is more freeing, which is Uranus. Now, you've got to be sure to spend time alone to process and integrate with these changes for your own health, right? So the energy of Chiron, this is where your wound is. This is where you are. There's a something for you to heal there, and it has to do with your lifestyle, with how you're living. Like, that's the trigger, right? And so it's gonna take you to do some healing, some with your relationships as well, with like letting go of closing your past, or closing cycles, or just kind of like letting things go, letting things uh really come to the fruition, and seeing that's what this full moon does. The full moon shows you what you're ready to release so that you can explore new territories. Sagittarius. um Sagittarius, you know how to have a good time. You know how to have fun. Now, part of this long-lasting happiness involves opening up to share your feelings. This is where the full moon in Cancer is happening for you. It is in the most vulnerable, deeper aspects of your life. It's the eighth house. It's your connection to your fears and your ability to just transform them and being vulnerable. Uranus is in your sixth house, and it's really helping you. Um, it's giving you just this ideas, and it's helping you also, like, when you do that, when you're able to open up and be vulnerable, it leads to better health. It leads you to have a healthier lifestyle because you're able to be honest with yourself, most importantly, right? And this has to do also with other people's money, the eighth house, and Capricorn is in your second house with like the way that you work, with the way that you um create resources for yourself, right? Like how much you value yourself. So you're really learning about the value that you bring into the table. And that comes from what you do daily, right? From having a very strong health connection with yourself and opening up and being vulnerable. Also, speaking the truth in your heart creates a deeper bond with your friends and people that you want to build with. Now, for Capricorn, this is happening in your seventh house of relationships, of partnerships. So it's a reminder that you don't have to do it all alone, although you can handle it all. Capricorn, you have so much energy right now in your first house. You're just strong, right? But really letting others come in and offer their support is incredibly gratifying and fulfilling for you emotionally right now. And eventually, this does take you to higher places when you learn to feel safe enough with others to collaborate. So that's where the trigger point is happening for you, is in it's really taking you to the past. It's really taking you to Chiron, and Aries is your fourth house, which relates to your family, relates to your home, to your past. So there may be some issues coming up from that stem from your childhood or from when you were younger that are ready to be healed so that you can learn to let other people help you so you don't do it all on your own. For Aquarius, this is happening for you in your sixth house, which has to do with your health, with your lifestyle, your day-to-day life. And you know, you have such a brilliant mind. You always have great ideas to help others and the world in general. And now you're seeing that you really get to be the change you want to see in the world by applying what you know to your day-to-day practices, to your lifestyle, and how you work on a daily basis. Now, there is Uranus and Taurus is in your fourth house, creating lots of changes in your home and in your family, and also in how you provide that emotional stability for yourself. So, this is what's giving you the impulse to focus on your health and wellness. And that also means that you're bringing into balance this work and rest topics, right? For you, for you, Aquarius, Uranus is in the fourth house, and Chiron is in the third house, and that's where your trigger is. That's where your wound is, and um, your mindset and your mentality, and learning to express yourself and using your voice and communicating. So that's the work you're doing right now. For Pisces, this full moon is happening in your fifth house, which means that it's the area that deals with your creativity, your children, inspiration, your art, your hobbies. What you enjoy the most is being lit up right now. And your creativity is beaming, and also your relationship with children, right? There's a big focus there right now in how you want to parent, or also how you want to like take care of your inner child. So you're receiving a ton of downloads and incredible ideas from Uranus in Taurus, which is in your third house, which can also be unexpected connections with neighbors or siblings that inspire you, or just your ability to speak what's on your mind and just to communicate freely. Now, this is also a reminder, because Chiron is in your second house in Aries, that that this is where the wound is. This is where you're doing the work, is that they're reminding yourself that you bring value, that to remind yourself of what you bring into the table, to do that self-worth, that self-love practice, because you really do bring so much into all of your interactions. So letting yourself go deeper and healing those fears of putting yourself out there into your community is super important. That's where Capricorn is for you. It's your 11th house. So this is the time for you to expose your talent, put yourself out there. Okay, friends, we've done it. This is the information I have for you guys for this full moon in Cancer. I hope you guys have a very loving, nurturing, emotionally connected to your why, to your purpose, to what drives you, and that you find comfort within yourself. Bye, everyone.